Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was a revolutionary movie when it came to animated films, and the sequel, which I know a lot of people will think sequels never follow the first one as well, but this one actually does better in a lot of ways. This sequel adds so much more to the original story, and yet continues that story in a developing way that makes you just want more of it. The thing about the second one is the animation just gets better and better. Every Spider-Man from every Spider-Verse is drawn differently. It has a different animation style. They have different personalities. They have different origin stories. There's similarities because they're all Spider-Man, but there's so much differentiation between them. If you're into the Spider-Man comics, you're going to see a lot of Easter eggs from the comics. If you're into the video games, you're going to see a lot of Easter eggs from the video games. The movies, even Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, there's Easter eggs to all of it. So if you even like Spider-Man a little bit or only follow one style, you're going to see something in there you like. Now, it's not just every Spider-Man that has a different animation style. It's every universe. So whatever universe that particular Spider-Man has, it has a specific animation style, which is very creative. It's very unique, and it actually really keeps me involved because it's not the same thing. Take, for instance, if we're in Earth 64 versus Earth 467 or whatever the number is, they're not the same animation. So I'm not going, well, what world are we in now? Because we were here, but now we're here, but I'm not sure what world we're in. This one, you don't have to question it because it's a totally different animation. So you're like, oh, we're definitely not in that universe anymore. We jumped over here, so this Spider-Man fits that animation, so this is his world. Now, with all that being said, I know I was rambling on about the animation. The story between Miles Morales is incredible. They pick up where the other one left off, but not directly because he's evolved as a character. His story is building. He is getting stronger. He is starting to develop into who he wants to be, but yet he's still struggling because there are roadblocks that he's got to get through. And then he's coming to a realization of his own existence and how he became Spider-Man versus what could or should have happened. Not going to spoil any of that, but I think it's a very interesting story, and there is a very emotional and I want to say captivating story between him and Gwen and also his parents. So it's not just about Spider-Man and the animation and fighting bad guys. There is a personal story that goes along with this movie and each character. I mean, there's a lot of tie-ins here that can keep you involved for a very long time. Now, this movie is a part 1 of 2. This is continued. I mean, it just says it blatantly at the end, to be continued. So there is a storyline that needs to be completed in the second one, and they leave you on a pretty bad cliffhanger. So you'll get to the end of the movie and you're just like, that's it? You're going to cut me off right here, and you're going to want more, and it's absolutely crazy. But I will say, this is a long movie. It's a 2-hour and I think 20-minute movie, and it does kind of feel like 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was interesting, but I was getting restless. Like, I just wouldn't, I'm like, all right, where are we going with this? I'm kind of wiggling in my seat a little bit. It was enjoyable, but keep in mind, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it does kind of feel that way. I'll be completely honest, if you could have cut that down to about 10 or 15 minutes shorter, it would have been just as good. I don't think you would have missed out on anything. But with the time frame out of the way, this was a great movie. It was fun. It was entertaining. I will admit, though, if you have kids that watch it, it's too long for their little brains to stay focused too long. My daughter loves Spider-Man, and even she kind of like walked off a little more than halfway through. It was like, all right, I'm kind of bored now. And she just did her own thing. But obviously for a little older audience, this isn't going to be a problem. It is a great film, and again, one that meets the quality of the first and possibly even exceeds it. So as far as sequels are concerned, that's a pretty high bar. Now with the second one coming out in roughly March, I believe that's what I was told the next one's coming out. We don't have to wait too horribly long for it, but I will say this has been a great start to a trilogy. Let me know what your thoughts are of this movie down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.